Welcome to another episode of Youth.com. My name is Harriet and he's Aziz.
And I'm sure you guys are wondering, what's up with the couple's uniform?
Yeah,
Not to worry. I can assure you, we've not run out of clothes.
Nope, we haven't. We are only commiserating those that lost their lives in the 2011 post-election violence.
Sad event, sad
Yeah,
event.
sad.
Now in that light, I would like us to observe a few moments of silence for them. May their gentle souls rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
And may God grant the families of these departed heroes the fortitude to bear the loss.
Amen. Now, the loss of these national heroes only begs the question that we ask on this program. I mean, long before the sad and unjustified deaths. Has the nysc scheme lost its essence?
Yes, as the nysc scheme, as the nysc program outlived its purpose. This is it's a question we've actually tackled on Youth.com before now, you know.
Yeah, yes.
But today, we'll be looking at it from a different angle. As Chat Zone, we think they take us through the genesis of the nysc scheme and the reason for its establishment.
And 360 Degrees gives us a revelation of what to expect in the coming years.
I'm feeling like a copper, and you know what I actually want to do now?
What?
Can we recite the nysc anthem?
Oh, yeah, sure. Good idea. Yeah. What?
I wasn't expecting you to accept.
Well, don't call me a monster now. I know a good idea when I hear one. So.
Okay. Ladies first.
Okay, youths obey the clarion call.
Let us lift our nation high.
Under the sun or in the rain.
With dedication and selflessness.
Nigeria is ours.
Nigeria we serve. And we'll be right back.
Hello, and you're welcome to Chat Zone on Youth.com. My name is Telma, and on today's episode, we will be discussing on a very important issue. Has the nysc lost its relevance? Has it overstayed its usefulness? To do justice to this topic with me on the show, from my immediate right, I have Mr. Akane Bong. He's the Vice President of African Youth Impact Initiative, and he's also the co-author of The Third Alternative. You're welcome. And I have Mr. Ajibade Omishade, an actor and a model. And I have Mr. Temilade Alade Oke. He's a UNESCO Youth Ambassador for the Culture of Peace, and he's also the student of Peace and Conflict Transformation, University of Tromsø, Norway. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And I have Omo, an in-house panelist.
Hello, Thelma. Hello.
You're all very welcome. Okay, I'm going to start my first question today from you, Mr. Akanebong. I'd like to ask you, what was the purpose for the creation of the nysc scheme? And so many years ago, what was the purpose?
The nysc was created in 1973, immediately after the Civil War, as a platform to reconcile the cultural differences that the war caused, the disparity that happened, and it also was put in place as a platform for cultural exchange among the youths in Nigeria, so that we can be able to, build a better Nigeria on that platform. That was the main purpose in which nysc was created.
Omar, do you have anything to add to that? What's the purpose?
I concur with what he has to say. But this was now in an attempt to bring us back, for people to have the opportunity to go to other parts of the country, learn their culture, learn their food, learn their languages, and then communicate well with these people. And then also to be able to assist graduates to be able to get into the labor market, to be able to learn what it is to serve your country, come up with developmental programs, come up with, sort all these things. So really, that was what it was for them. But these days, I think it has to be reorientated for it to be able to fit into our society now.
Okay, well, we've actually discussed this topic, nysc, on the Chat Zone before. Yeah. And now we're taking it from a different angle, based on the recent happenings. We all know about the northern killings, based on the recent happenings, Has the nysc overstayed its usefulness? I mean, what happened? Can we...
I can say, first of all, my condolences to all the families that lost one core member or the other during the mishap. 10 coppers. It was really painful because I was a core member then and I enjoyed 7. But to an extent, I think this is actually the how do I say it now? This is actually the edge. This is actually the breaking point that has really proven that, to an extent, the nysc is actually right now deficient. There is something wrong somewhere. because having to lose just because of election 10 core members and they just have to be killed, meaning that over time, if this hadn't happened, we would not have seen the lapses of core members not being really relevant in the society themselves anymore.
That's true.
We wouldn't have been able to see the fact that these core members are not being paid respect to. Nobody actually sends them anymore. They see them right now as, would I say, government slaves, as they now see them. People forget the fact that this word service is actually in it. Serving. And they're not being protected. That's why we could actually lose as much as 10 core members. That is 10 intellectual properties that have been built over the years, now gone down the drain.
That's so sad. Mr. Akon, do you have anything to add to it?
Yeah, the issue is, before now, it's been happening, but the election presented, a picture of what has been happening. It's very, very sad, and my condolences to the families. And the government is doing everything to make this right, but truthfully, nothing can make it right. It has to do with the lives of, people.
People's children, underage people.
I my sympathy to the families, though. But this is a time that we need to call our government to order, and they need to sit down and restructure the objectives of NYSC right now.
True. And the protection scheme
because
too.
the knowledge that have been built up in these people that could have been the saving grace of Nigeria in the future.
That's true.
So
even the truth about it is, it's not actually even it bringing back these people that did. But actually, what we're saying is, this 5 million naira does not mean that coppers will now be protected. This immortalized coppers does not mean that more jobs will be made available for these people.
That's true.
This old money or being named after streets does not now mean that any government, any place I go to, people respect me more. It's not about what we're given. Let government put their eyes into the fact that there is now a decadence. It's not about people that are dead, but it's actually correcting the anomaly that this thing
saving the lives
actually
of those that are coming
system.
in.
Yes.
Yeah, what measures have been put in place for the protection of the ones that are coming in next year, or the ones that haven't left there? Because I'm sure not all of them have been evacuated from there. So whatever measures it is they take now, is it going to reflect in something that is sustainable, that will be able to protect other core members that are coming on? Because at this stage now, you are discouraging people from actually wanting to do this.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
Okay, so it's obvious that there's a deficiency in the scheme. So what restructuring measures do you think that the government can take to ensure that other COP members and more that are still coming can be protected?
Left to me, I would say something like, if it's not, because I don't see the evidence of I don't see the necessity of the whole 3 weeks serving and the 1 year, which ends up feeling like a waste, because most people would actually, after the 3 weeks, serve in a multinational company, and the government still has not gained from that core member. Now, the only way we can say the society will gain from this core member is, I would suggest, why can't we have something like a 6-month orientation program where they teach about entrepreneurship, teach about after-school life, developing yourself, how to serve the government. Now, there's a lot of money going into running NYSC. Now, can't the government think of, after the 6-month training, let's put this entire money together that we give a copper, that we used to make his uniform, that we used to feed him. Put this one together, it runs like 300,000 or more. Put it together and say, we've now trained you. If they're looking at we can't give it to you immediately, go draw up a plan of what you think you can do for the society or for yourself as a youth, so that we can curb the issue of unemployment and say this is the money, go and start with. Then in that way, government can come back to the public and say, see, we've built these coppers after. Then this copper can say, government gave me this, I gained this, I'm giving back to this. Because most of the cop numbers, what they're saying is, what most of them are now saying is, what did I gain? What should I serve?
Yeah.
But it's not just still about providing these monies.
Yes.
These people have to be the core members themselves have to be reorientated.
That's
because
what
it's not
6
just
months
enough for you to
is for.
say, because yes, I could come up with some fraudulent plan and say, okay, and so that I can get money. Pay someone to come up with a business plan, and then I present it, and then I get the fund. But what do I do with the funds? So they still have to be orientated on how to manage this fund. On even finding what to do themselves that can sustain this money that can grow this money.
I think another restructuring plan is to first sit the directors and the officials of NYSC together with meaningful young people in Nigeria. You cannot adequately decide what a young person wants to do when you have in a committee people that are older than 50 in that committee. So inclusion of young people in Nigeria is also one of the major things they should do.
And another thing is, if you look at our educational system, most Nigerian graduates are very, very unemployable. So I think that this 1 year of National Youth Service can be, can come in as an alternative to train these people to be employable.
Yeah. And talking about the security of corpus in people that are going for service, I think if government cannot adequately provide security for these people, then we had better just,
Ask this thing to
change the way people are posted, so that people from the south serve in the south, so people from the north
serve in the
serve in the
But
south.
the initial vision would have been defeated.
It becomes regional.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
that's the issue. Is
it would just
yes, the
defeat one
initial
of the
vision would have been
objectives.
defeated,
Yeah.
but to an extent, what we've been able to correct is the fact that if they cannot do anything about security, then there is no necessity for the initial
Security is
vision.
important.
If they can't fix that, let people serve where they belong to.
or better still, we have people from the south going to school in the northern part. You rather just you serve where you school. I think that is another thing that would also work also.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jubade. Thank you, Mr. Okan. Thank you, Omar. And thank you, Mr. Timilade. I'm sure you were all enlightened today. This is Youth.com. Stay tuned for more.
Money help where? Money help where? Money help where? Money help where?
Money and men would always find a way to cause quarrel between friends. You'll be surprised that Iniedo during a movie shoot recently accused her erstwhile best friend Oge Okoye of scoping her husband. Not too long after Chioma Toplix asked Oge Okoye to get off her back, as she, Chioma, is not the cause of Oge's crumbled marriage. Tata fools! Una get antenna sharp.
Money help where?
Recently wedded Big Brother revelation duo Kevin Pam and Elizabeth Gupta joyously await the delivery of their first baby. Just as these two await the safe delivery of their first child, we at You.com cannot wait to celebrate with the Pams. Congratulations!